All right, Coach, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right, guys.
Yeah, well, just kind of first off, wanted to get your thoughts on facing Utah in the first round. That was one of the latter teams you played during the regular season. I know they dismissed their coach the following day, so I don't know. Are they running any? Do they look any different with the interim coach, or just kind of what are your initial thoughts on facing the Utes on Tuesday night?
Still running a very similar system. I think Ezra is a little more aggressive. He's playing more minutes now for them. He's now their leading scorer probably in the last 4 or 5 games. He's pretty much asserted himself more, but the system is still very similar to what they were doing before, offensively and defensively.
Hey, Coach, Andrew Cherico. I'm just curious, what's the mindset going into this tournament? It's kind of like a reset for you guys to start off on a clean slate and trying to make a run in the conference tournament.
That's exactly how we're looking at it. We've discussed that the last few days about the opportunity. It's a brand new season. Everybody's starting back at 0-0 again. And so we can make our dreams come true. So for us, it's just a function of, one game at a time, just playing our best basketball. And that's how we're approaching it. And so our guys have been good. Yesterday in our practice and in our meetings in the film room, our guys have been good, excited to still be playing.
Johnny, when you look at this going into the second time you've been in the Big 12 tournament, do you change anything? Is there anything you learned from the first time around that you can maybe incorporate? I know it's a whole bunch of new guys, it's 10 new guys, but is there anything you can maybe incorporate maybe that helps maybe kind of ease some of the pressure maybe there might be on this tournament?
Well, we can just talk about, we can share our experiences. Darius was in it last year. Of course, Jalen was in it. Niels and Tyler, so they both were in it as well. We can just share our experience about just how amazing a tournament it is and how amazing atmosphere. And we need to be prepared for that. It's going to be a great, vibe in this building, and we have to be ready. Other than that, it's just one game at a time. You have to, try to win and continue to move forward. That's got to be the goal. And so that's going to happen. There's a finite, finality to this thing. So you have to have a sense of urgency, understanding that, you have to, be desperate when you go out there to play to make it happen that you can continue to compete.
Coach, what did you learn from your season finale in Morgantown that you want the team to apply against the Utes in the Big 12 tournament or however long you're in Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament?
Well, we need to capture our second half. I thought our second half played like we've done a lot the entire season, just to continue to fight, regardless of what the deficit was. Our guys continued to believe we could win and gave ourselves a chance at the end. A minute 36 seconds. It's a 3-point ball game. With ample time. So, I was just very proud of our guys, the fight that we showed and the defense and the rebounding that we showed in the second half. We were able to defend at a high level and also for the most part, until the very end, we rebounded well.
Coach, were there any particular moments in that West Virginia game in that second half that, was kind of like a turning point to make a go at it? Anything you can point to directly to say this is exactly what we need to do, but do it during a 40-minute period of play?
No, it was more or less just understanding that, the sense of urgency, we wanted to play well. We wanted to end with the win, to end the season, and that was our goal. And so we went into it with that in mind. It wasn't happening in the first half, but our guys kept believing that it could happen, and we just kept chipping away at the lead. We just chipped away from the 20-minute mark in the second half all the way down. We just kept chipping away, building momentum through that. I don't think there was a significant play. If any play, it may have been a technical foul. That was caused on, one of their players in regards with Darius that gave us, two free throws and the ball back in a significant moment of the game. So that was big for us to get it to single digits.
Coach, how important is it that going into this tournament, the guys know that they can take no plays off? It seemed like last game, within the final 2 minutes, there was a few rebounds that didn't go your way. And maybe if you guys got on that, it could have changed the game. How important is that for the rest of the tournament?
Well, I would say more important is the attention to detail. I don't think they took the play off. I mean, balls bounce funny, and guys got to make plays on basketballs when they don't bounce their way. And so I don't think we took it off. I just think that we just our attention to detail has to be there. Understanding that the ball can bounce any direction. I have to make sure I get guys on my body, on my back, properly to make sure that I can secure the ball like I need to. I would think more of that than anything. But our guys, I never question their effort and their desire to want to do well.
Coach, you guys got a lot of help from the bench last game against Utah. Is that something you're looking for in this matchup again as well?
No, our bench was really good the last time we played him. I think Debo was terrific. We had Juice during that game, and I think he was very good, as well as Tyler Hendricks. And so those guys really gave us a huge lift off the bench. And like I said, excited. Like we believe in our guys, and so in those moments when they step up like that, it just does so much for our team because of our belief in them and their belief in themselves.
Johnny, when
Coach,
you look at this health, the situation you mentioned, Juice is what's his status going into this game? Mikey, obviously, you talked about was probably going to be not be available. Health wise, as a team, how do you guys look going into this game?
We're not at full strength. Obviously, Juice is still day to day, so not sure what his status is going to be for this tournament or even for tomorrow's game. We have to keep on seeing how he continues to respond to rehab and treatment. And then for the guys that are out that have been out, so that really hasn't changed for us. We've needed guys to step up, and I think coming down the last 5, 6 games of the season, we've had guys stepping up and having to do a little bit more, and they've responded, and that's what you have to have. We like I said, we have a belief in those guys. We recruit them here for a reason, and when the opportunity presents itself, we need them to step forward, and these guys have been stepping forward for the most part.
Coach,
Coach,
continuing to look back on the former, on the last Utah matchup, what are some things you would like to see your guys replicate? What were some things that stood out for you from that last matchup that you would like to see again?
Well, I thought we played a really good pace. Our pace. We got up and down. I thought we got out in transition. I thought that was something that was good. I thought we rebounded the ball offensively, well, especially with their size and length. I thought those two areas were really good. And we had of course they have a great shooter in Gabe Madsen. And I thought until the end, we did a good job of kind of, being with him, staying where he was, making sure he didn't really get the looks that he wanted. But like any great player, he found a way at the end to manufacture some baskets, and but that's a credit to him and his ability.
Coach Keyshawn
Coach,
Hall will end the season leading the conference in scoring. I guess we wait to see if he's represented in the all Big 12 teams, which I guess will be announced in short order. Can you just kind of reflect on the impact Keyshawn made for your team, particularly offensively?
Well, I thought he was huge impact for us offensively. We're into the season, last spring, wanting to, increase our offensive output and looking for a player or two that can come in and help in that regard. And I thought he did do that for us. I thought he came in and gave us a big lift offensively. I thought he complimented Darius, very, very well. And I thought he would have complimented Jalen, well as, also. But yeah, I'm very proud of him because you don't know what's going to happen when you bring a young man to the Big 12, how his adjustment's going to be, how long it's going to take. And for him, he just got better. I thought from preseason he was really good for us, and he was even better, in Big 12 play. And that's a tribute to his work ethic, his belief in himself. And like I said, I never seen a guy put any more time in on trying to improve his game. And I thought he gave us a huge lift, throughout, most of the Big 12 season.
Coach, now with the regular season now behind you, 16 and 15 for it, how do you compare year one and year two from year one in the Big 12, just from a regular season standpoint?
I think it's a difficult one to compare. Seasons are definitely uniquely different with personnel, and especially nowadays where everyone's changing, schools so much. Teams, come in West Virginia, whole new squad. We have 11 new players. So I mean, it's no longer the way it was when you watch a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and you kind of can map that out. Now it's just a whole new team you're playing against. So I do think, with regards to us, I mean, of course, we weren't at full strength. Me, I'm making no excuses. I mean, I don't know how the season would have went if we had Jalen. I know it would have been better, obviously, because you missed one of your best players, and so we would have been, in a little better position probably, during this season than we had found ourselves during conference play. But that's life. That's part of basketball. We're not the only team that experienced that. And I thought we made, I thought our guys did a great job of responding, with his absence. You lose a guy who averaged 16 points a game last year in the Big 12. I thought we had some guys step up and give us what they could give us. Of course, they're not going to be Jalen, but they gave us everything they had, and that's all I can ever ask for, and that's all I can ever control.
Coach, just talk about the excitement level of the guys to be able to participate in the tournament, to play some more competitive basketball and have a shot at the championship.
Oh, we're excited. I mean, like I said before, I mean, who doesn't want to be in these moments? You know, you have an opportunity, it's March. So March Madness, they say it for a reason. And anything can happen. You just have to just take the approach, one game at a time and put your best effort out there and then you see where you stand. But a great time. I mean, as me as a coach, a longtime coach and a former player, I love this time of the year. It's one of the best time of the year in sport, to be quite frank, and in sports. And so yeah, I know our guys feel the same way. They're looking forward to getting out there and playing in this atmosphere, and we're excited for this opportunity.
Coach, you're playing in that late game, 9:30 Eastern time. Those games always run later than that. It seems like might be tipping off even later. Is there any adjustments or kind of how do you feel? I guess you have no choice, but how do you feel about playing in the late games, which could go on for several days?
Oh no, I don't mind playing in the late game. The one thing about our team, we've played in different time zones all season. So for us, we face time zones similar to this. So I don't think it's something that, will disrupt us from that standpoint. We just have to make sure we prepare properly during the day. The day becomes longer, of course. So we have to make sure that we are keeping our guys on schedule, keeping our guys on a routine that they're somewhat familiar with, so that there's some continuity, before we play the game.
Johnny, what is it about March Madness that people love? Coaches, players, fans. What is it about the March Madness? I mean, you've played through it, you coached in it. What is it about that makes it so special for everyone?
Well, I just think it's a unique event, where first of all you have, a lot of your institutions are represented, so all the fans and supporters are gathering around, excited for their teams, or if their team's not involved, they're excited for other teams that they're rooting for. I think because it's such an abrupt end to anyone's season. I think just the heightened awareness from everyone, the players, like I said, our supporters, our student body, everyone realized that every possession, every shot that to the last second, how many, last second shots did you see just yesterday, really, in preparation for the, NCAA tournament and for, conference tournaments as well. So that's what it's about. And it just creates amazing memories. I mean, just some emotions that pour out of these students and these student athletes you can't replicate that. Television can't duplicate, live sports of that magnitude when it's that finality, that finite, period where there's nothing, but hey, it's basically, they say the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat is right there on everyone's face, during that time. And like I said, it's beautiful.
Coach, what does this team need to do to extend this run in the postseason, keep playing for as long as possible?
We need to defend and rebound at a high level. We need to make sure we just defend and rebound at a high level. That'll give us a chance to compete against teams that we're going to face. First of all, we're just looking at one team. It's Utah. I mean, that's all that we're concerned with right now is Utah and giving our best effort in those areas I just mentioned, defending and rebounding.
Coach, you mentioned relying on former experience to guide the team through the tournament. Talk about the leaders on this team like Darius Johnson and Keyshawn, and how you expect them to step up.
Well, I expect those guys to lead first of all, vocally, being able to, with the younger guys to kind of, explain to them, hey, what we're going through, especially in real time when we're playing in games and in practice this afternoon, to make sure that our mindset is set on, what's at hand. Like I said before, and that's Utah and focusing on their personnel, focusing on our game plan so we can execute properly tomorrow. That's going to be important for those guys to deliver that message in their own way. I'm going to deliver it to the team, but they need to echo that message in their own words, so it doesn't sound like it's coach talk from them. It's coming directly from them. And those guys have been really good at that. They've been really good teammates, and they've been able to help our guys, I think, throughout the season just by just their belief in the players that we have. And I think they've encouraged them, and that's why I think some of the guys have been able to respond late in the season when their opportunity and their number were called.
Everybody all set? All right.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank you, Coach.